Okay, so now that the glue has dried for 24 hours, I've got to take my ring here, and it's going to be pretty rough to start with, and I'm going to turn it into this. So one last step, once we get to here, will be to spray them with a clear coat. But we've got to get all this nasty stuff off in order to do that. So I'm going to start by peeling off as much of the tape as I can. And whatever's left, I'm going to have to sand off. So I'm really going to try to peel all of this back. So that was all I could get off of there. So the rest of this is going to need sanded off. So you can see how this sticks up a little bit past the ring on this side and this side. Again, the thicker or the wider I made that fabric, the more work I have to do now. So this is not hard work. It is just can be time consuming, and you just gotta muscle through it. So I'm gonna use the 80 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna sand in a circle just like I did before. My goal now is to sand it down until I'll start to see the shine of the edge of the ring there where that copper shows. So I'm gonna save you the awful sound of sanding, but I'm gonna sand this way and this way. And once I get that even, then I'm going to sand down all this extra kind of tape off of this side. So you can see this is a nice fresh piece of 80 grit sandpaper. This one is pretty worn out, so I might start with working around the edges first for that fresh, rougher grit. And if you feel like you need a new piece, please let me know and I'll take a look at it. So I've got a pretty good start on this side. You can see I got to sand just a little bit more right there. What I'm looking for is the shine of that copper all the way around. This side, you can see that I've got that copper shining right here, still not quite here. So in that case, I'm kind of thinking about the side that needs a little bit more off of it, and I'm pushing a little harder on that side to wear that part down a little bit more, and I'll just keep working until I get all of that flat. Once I get that flat, then I'm going to work on the outside of it and try to get all of that tape off until I can start seeing that fabric in there. Okay, so I've got the side sanded down and I've got all the tape removed. Kind of got it, trying to make sure that I keep it even, especially using this rougher sandpaper so that the thickness of that fabric is about the same. So once I do that with the 80 grit, I'm ready to flip over and start doing 20 grit. And it'll slowly start to look more a bright color or brighter color, and a little more even as we get rid of the scratch marks from that rougher sandpaper. So we're going to go through 80, 120, then 220, and then finally 320 grit, really getting this nice and even. The other thing I've done here is just put a little bit of a curve, a little bit of an angle right there on that edge, and I'll wait to do that with the finer grit sandpaper, but that makes it just fit a little bit better. I'll also go through and make sure that I've still got that nice soft edge on the inside of the ring right there, and I can do that with the file or sandpaper. Okay, so now we're ready to spray the clear coat on. I'm in the spray booth. I have the can from the cabinet, so you should have one of those for yourself. I've got a little part of a binder clip that I've put inside the ring, and again, the wire that, again, you should have from your cabinet. My key thing here is not wanting to have this run, so I'm using clear spray paint. I am about a foot away from that, and I'm going to get a little test above it, and then spray the top, spray the bottom, spray kind of the sides, and then I'm going to flip it around and repeat that. Spray the top, spray the bottom, spray the side, and then again, just a light coat on there. I'm going to take the wire and the hanger, and I'm going to put it down inside the can and move it to the table that's beside me here. that will let the next person come in here. So I'm going to wait about 5 minutes, then I can come back and do another light coat. You can repeat that probably 4 times safely without making the ring too small. And if it's got some defects or whatever in it, we can even let it sit for a day or two, kind of sand it down just a little bit more. But we kind of have to get all the coats that we want in one day. If you don't get them all in one day, you're going to have to sand in between coats, which is not what you want to do. So that's how we'll make our rings nice and shiny. Go team.